and welcome back to the Heinz and Clark YouTube/podcast. Sorry for yelling at you right there. We're gonna go over.
Just excited.
Yeah, thrilled. It's tax season.
It is
According
officially.
to Ned Flanders.
January 1st.
Yeah, January 1st. Got to do his taxes. I think we have to pay a royalty to The Simpsons, but
Only if we show it. Maybe we will.
don't show this.
Google it.
Anyway, today we're going to be going over, hopefully pretty briefly, business tax returns and kind of some important dates, general information list to get us when you've got all your documents and are ready to send them in, and then how to send them in securely. Number of ways to do that.
Yeah. If you're new here, this is Aaron. I'm Steve.
I keep forgetting that.
I got you covered.
Yeah.
So yeah, why don't we just jump in? Like Aaron said, this is supposed to be kind of a guide for business owners to help send their information to us. We also did one of these on the individual side, so
Literally seconds ago.
check that one out too, because you are also an individual. You want to start with some dates?
Sure. To all the individuals out there that are also business owners. So important dates to keep in mind is March 15th is the filing deadline for business returns. Estimated taxes, not a whole lot of businesses that we deal with, but if you are a C corporation, January 18th is the last day to make your estimated payment for 2021. Other tax document dates to think of as a business owner. On the individual side, you're getting prepared to receive these, but as a business owner, if you do have payroll, you don't use a service and you do manual type payroll, you do need to get your W-2s filed with the IRS in state of Minnesota and out to your employees by January 31st. For any of your contractors that you have to prepare 1099s for, if you pay them $600 or more throughout the year, you do need to get those out by January 31st as well. Those are probably the most important ones. One to always keep in mind if you are a business owner with other shareholders, getting your documents in as soon as possible is really beneficial for your other shareholders as well, because they need to get that information to their preparer. So keep that in mind if you do have other shareholders.
Yeah. A couple newer programs, most of them related to COVID, not all of them, that I just want to run through real quick. Going to be important for us to make sure we get this information. One is the PPP. There was a second PPP that came out. A lot of people received that in early 2021. I'm in the right year, right?
Yeah.
2021. So if you receive that, we'll need to know that.
Also, if you're a time traveler, you can't be in the wrong year though. Just to nerd it up a little.
Also, if you had PPP forgiven, most people probably did in 2021. The employee retention credit, if you received that or applied for it, we'll need to know that, and also the information or the dollar amount that you submitted for, probably by quarter, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
The EIDL, the loan, it's a loan through the SBA. If you received that, we'll want to make sure we include that information on there. And then finally, the Minnesota pass-through entity election. If you made one of those payments, we'll want to know that as well too, to include that on your Minnesota return. Or if you're watching from another state that had a similar option, California, I know, put one in place. I know a few of our clients took advantage of that. And if you don't know what we're talking about, we'll also be including some of this information when we complete your return and let you know if you should be taking advantage of this. So, you want to run through some what we need from them?
Yeah. Man, I just keep yelling. The first word has to be yelled apparently from the Clark side of the Heinz and Clark YouTube. Yeah. So. Maybe we'll just start with current clients. Current clients, probably pretty similar to years past, but we will need profit and loss and balance sheet. We understand that those come in a variety of forms, whether you have QuickBooks or whether you jot it down and just provide that. But we will need an idea of your profit and loss from income and expenses, and balance sheet, any of your checking, banking accounts, any liabilities that you have, and fixed assets. We'll also need information if you do have payroll from either your payroll company software or anything that you manually calculate at the end of the year.
If I could get a little more specific on a couple of these, the P&L and
Yeah.
balance sheet, if you're running it out of QuickBooks or similar accounting software, we would prefer if you would include 2020 as a comparison, and even if you could put a dollar comparison in there. It just helps us in capturing the information and also reviewing it, and making sure that, because we review for any errors, maybe things are coded wrong, those types of things. So that helps us in preparing it too. Payroll, if you have a formal payroll that you're running, W3, probably W2s, because we're going to need specific information about the owners, or a payroll summary capturing the whole year works as well too.
If you do it manually, one of the things that we do usually have to request is also Minnesota unemployment returns for every quarter. So I mean, if you're a current client, we do your books. We're able to kind of pull everything that we need here. So don't get too concerned about that. For current clients, we do the books for. If you are used to sending your final month or quarter's information in, get that into us as soon as possible, and we can start so we can create these forms.
Yeah, that's a good point. So if we do the books, we will just finish them and then start the tax return. If we have access to your books, a lot of our clients do their own books, but we have access to them via QuickBooks Online. Let us know when it's done. Just send us an email and let us know that your books are done and reconciled through the end of December, and we'll jump in and grab the reports we need and get started on them.
Yeah. One other kind of area to mention is if you did buy any new assets, just kind of spell that out to us just so we know and don't miss something as we're looking through the information. For new clients, same information as before, but we'll also need a copy of your prior year return, a copy of the EIN letter. We're making an even bigger effort to collect EIN letters and that kind of detailed information, just so that we don't run into any issues when we file of returns getting rejected, and we just make sure that we're using the correct number provided from the IRS or state of Minnesota for state ID numbers.
And the name too. The name needs to match. So there's just a lot of matching that the IRS requires. So that's why we're asking for that letter.
And it seems surprising to ask for this, like, well, I know the name of my business, I can key in the EIN, but not to throw anybody under the bus, it has happened in the past where a keyed in or a typed up isn't the 100, it doesn't match 100%, it does happen. So we're just doing this to make sure that we're getting everything that we need. Along the lines of the prior return, if it doesn't have a specific depreciation schedule or a fixed asset listing, please request one from your previous accountant so that we can make sure that we get all the assets listed correct with the correct prior depreciation. And then variety of ways to send to us?
Yeah, you can always drop off the information at Heinz & Clark headquarters here in Plymouth, Minnesota. You can mail the information to us. You can email the information. I would stress if there's any, personal information, sensitive information, to make sure you do that securely. You can also upload your information to us. We have a ShareFile site. To get a link for that, you can email info@heinzclarkltd.com. I think they'll put a link to that on here. So,
how about through our website? Is that, and I'm looking over here in the corner because the person that does our website is here, so I'm not just oddly looking off into some weird nowhere, but
Yes.
he's not even said yet. Oh, now you're on the podcast. New YouTube star in the making. So we do have that set up. You can upload through the website. I think it's Dropbox through the website, but
Yeah.
also another
you
secure way
you
to
go
do
to
it.
the contact page.
Yeah. So,
Look how much we know.
man, sounds like we work here. Yeah, I think that probably covers everything except for the goodbye note. Do you want to do this goodbye?
Sure. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. Until next time.
Yeah.